Now here also match the following with respect to types of working capital. Now as usual, in first column we are given different working capitals and second column explains those working capital. Now these answer choices are also given to you. Now friends, to answer this question we need to discuss different types of working capital. So first of all, funds needed for short-term purposes for purpose of raw materials or payment of wages etc. are known as working capital. Now working capital can be classified either on the basis of its concept or on the basis of periodicity of requirements. So on the basis of concept, it can be classified into gross working capital and net working capital. Friends, first of all, gross working capital is nothing but the sum of company's current assets which are convertible to cash and used to fund daily business activity. So gross working capital equals only current assets. Then we have net working capital. Friends, net working capital is the excess of current assets over current liabilities. So net working capital equals current assets minus current liabilities.
Friends, are you preparing for CAIIB? But every time you open that bulky textbook after your hectic banking hours, all your motivation disappears.
And did you know after recent CAIIB syllabus revision, the pass percentage has dropped sharply according to official IBF data. And the main reason is not that bankers are not studying enough, but the reason is the massive increase in syllabus and non-availability of smart preparation resources.
Here's the problem you face.
The questions are deeper, more conceptual and drawn from every corner of the syllabus, which means if you rely on those surface level materials, you walk into the exam hall underprepared.
Luckily for you, there's now a solution.
Let me introduce to my CAIIB Masters Pack, which is created specifically for the new CAIIB syllabus and upgraded exam pattern. For each paper, you get summarized notebook covering entire syllabus in my own words, in depth but not bulky. Along with that, you also get the conceptual question bank filled with chapter-wise case studies, numericals and exam-oriented conceptual questions, and that too with detailed solutions. The format is designed to keep you motivated even after a long banking day, while still preparing you for in-depth conceptual questions. So here's what you get. You get 8 books covering all the 4 CAIIB papers, which contains complete syllabus notes, conceptual question banks, detailed solutions and personal support. All this in one package designed for your ultimate success. Friends, if you are serious about clearing CAIIB in your very next attempt, then stop wasting time with scattered resources.
So click the link below, get your CAIIB Masters Pack and start preparing smart.
Now second classification is on the basis of periodicity of requirements. Friends, on the basis of time and requirement, working capital can be classified into 2 categories, where first is permanent working capital and second is temporary working capital. Now permanent working capital is basically the minimum level of investment required in the business. Friends, please note investment of minimum current assets like inventory, book debts, cash book should always be there to facilitate uninterrupted operation in the business. Also remember, Tandon Committee has referred to this working capital as hardcore working capital. So do remember this important term also. Then second type of working capital under this classification is temporary working capital. Now temporary working capital or variable working capital is the amount of working capital which is required to meet seasonal demands and some special exigencies. So the capital required to meet the seasonal needs of an enterprise is called seasonal working capital. Friends, the difference between permanent working capital and temporary working capital is more clear with this diagram. Please note permanent working capital is stable over a period where temporary working capital or variable working capital is oscillating up and down. So friends, with this discussion, I hope you can easily answer this question. The first is gross working capital, which matches with total current assets. Then net working capital matches with difference of current assets and current liabilities. Then next is permanent working capital, which matches with hardcore working capital. And lastly, we have variable working capital, which matches with excess of working capital over permanent working capital. Thus, the correct option for the given question is option A,